Hey guys, welcome back to Andy's Dinosaur Reviews, and today we are going to check out this newer version of the Jurassic World Chaos Theory Danger Pack Dimetrodon. Now this is going to be a pretty short video overall because there really isn't much to go over. And when I was initially reviewing this wave of the Danger Packs, I kind of dismissed this figure as being the same as the Dominion release, which it's extremely close, but it is another one of those situations where Mattel will just randomly give us like an alternate different paint variant ever so slightly, kind of under the radar that we don't know about unless you really pay attention. So of course it's one of those situations where it's on us to make sure that we are keeping our eye out for this kind of thing, and that's exactly what we have here because it is slightly different. So if we bring in the actual Dominion version, which is this one, you can see what it looks like. You can see obviously it is the same figure that we remember from Dominion, and obviously, looking at the two, the color scheme hasn't changed. Overall, the color scheme is exactly the same. It's just the tones of color are slightly different between these two. And, you know, at first glance, you may not even notice the slight difference. But one thing, the green is actually ever so slightly different. And I don't even know if it's going to pick up on camera too well here. You can see the green of the Dominion version is just really slightly darker compared to this newer version. The newer version is a little bit brighter when it comes to the greenish tone. So that's the first difference. The second difference is the coloration here for the lower jaw is also ever so slightly different. There we go, focus camera. As far as the tone of color, but that is extremely similar. I can see in person here again, it is just like the shade is just a little bit darker on the older one as well. But the biggest difference in my opinion is, well, first of all, we can see the coloration looks a little bit different with the way it runs into the throat, but that as well isn't really much of a difference. The biggest difference here is the tone of dark brown. So basically you see this dark brown right here moving through the back and then leading up into the sail. We have a similar tone, but this one is darker. It is definitely a significantly darker brown. If we bring the two of them in and kind of let you see this, you can see that this version, the newer version, has like a, you know, very, very, very dark brown tone, whereas the older one had more of almost like a chocolate bar sort of brown. It's like a fairly dark tone, but not quite to the extent that the newer one has as far as the dark tone. And as far as I can tell, that's pretty much the only difference. Well, the only difference is I don't think the insides of the mouths are any different as far as the coloration goes. So we have both of them right there. Actually, it is a little bit different. I didn't even realize that. It's just like the tongue looks like it's a little bit darker on the newer one compared to the older one. But again, it's a very slight difference. And obviously, the differences in coloration between these two, it's not going to be enough that I think warrants everybody running out and grabbing one. I probably would have had I realized it prior to getting this one. When I ordered the wave from Big Bad Toy Store, this one was just automatically included because it was purchasing the entire wave. So I may not even have discovered this had I not actually ordered it from Big Bad Toy Store and got it into my hands, because I did recently take a look at this one in store and assumed it was the same, because looking at them, like, I really didn't notice any difference. It wasn't until I got this one here at home and actually took a look at the two in person together to really realize, again, that they are a bit different. The actual patterning as well, really, I mean, honestly, when I look at that, the patterning is a little bit different as well, because if you look at this, it's a really smooth transition where the brown kind of meets up with the green, whereas the newer one actually has kind of like a speckling that leads out from the dark brown, whereas the older one did not have that. So that's a little bit different as well, which I'm now just noticing. And when I look at the design in the sail, for the most part, it looks pretty much the same, but there is just the slightest little addition of a few extra kind of like spots of it up there on the top that this one doesn't have. But so like there's really minor differences between the two, but as I said, again, it's not something that I think, you know, unless you're like me and you absolutely want to have every different variant of every different figure, it's not something that you're probably going to be too worried about. So at least we now know that they are different, and the differences are subtle, but different nonetheless. So again, if you are interested, head to your local Walmart or wherever you might find your Mattel figures, see if they've got this Dimetrodon in stock so you can grab it and add it to your collection. Otherwise, again, if you don't really care too much, then it's an easy pass for pretty much anybody that isn't a variant collector. And of course, like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next review. Thanks for watching.